Hello, everyone. Abigail Horn here from Lisa Johnson's team. We're doing a little interview series for you so you get to meet some of the people that are involved in Velocity, which is a very new, exciting accelerator. And we're also interviewing people who have worked with Lisa in many different ways. So you can get a feel for what it's like to be a client and what it's like to be part of Lisa's world. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our first guest of that sort of interview, because up till now, I've only shown you people that are working as part of the team inside the program. But now I would like to introduce you to some of Lisa's past clients. So this is Stacey here. She is. Hello, Stacey. Please tell everybody who you are, what it is that you do, who you help. Let's start there first, and then I'm going to dive into some questions if that's okay.
Of course it is. Hi, Abby. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I have been in Lisa Johnson's world a couple of years now. I think I found her around about 2002. Somebody recommended her to me. But what I do, what she's helped me to do now and who I help is I'm a franchise strategist. So I help business owners make money through franchising, essentially. So whether they are thinking like, oh, I've hit a ceiling and like, I don't know what to do next in the business. Sometimes franchise is a good option. So I help them to franchise. I work with lots of franchisors who have franchised and then don't know how to find franchisees. And I also help to support the franchisees with their marketing and their sales. So full service.
Full service. Now, hopefully you won't mind me saying, you've not just been in Lisa's world on one occasion, right? Would you like to sort of say the little bit of the journey that you've been on? Because it speaks volumes when somebody has done as much as you've done.
It's been a proper journey, actually. And the reason it's been a proper journey is everything I'm going to tell you that I've done with her, I've always got an ROI. Like I've always got a return on investment when I work with Lisa. And she's proper like shaped and helped me make really big decisions, which has been wonderful. So I came into her world. I did, my journey is probably very typical of a lot of people kind of coming into Lisa's world. So I did race to recurring revenue and bought into one-to-many back in 2003. So I kind of watched for the first year and then shut it away because I wasn't ready. Second year came back and just went for it with OTM. I had this moment basically where I woke up in hospital actually when OTM was like kind of in the sign up period, and I was running like 5 different businesses. I've got 3 chronic illnesses and I was hospitalized with pneumonia. And that particular week that OTM was like on sale, just woke up and thought something's got to change. And I spoke to Lisa and she's like, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. And that really stuck. And I went into OTM, loved it, but wasn't quite ready to implement. And then when OTM finished, I went straight into Kickstart, which was the kind of mastermind group that she did last year. And that just kicked my business off like you wouldn't believe. Like within about 2 months, I'd gone from fear of failure to like fear of success, basically. Like it was all a bit much, like it just went crazy. The return on investment was just like, I kept checking it, like I must have done the calculations wrong, but it was through the roof, like the money that I earned from there. I had my first ever £10,000 week. Yeah, I know. And it was like Christmas week. So I was like, yes, it was brilliant. And then, like I said, I kind of hit fear of success. So working with Renee, I was able to kind of just work on the mindset behind that. So Kickstart really literally kickstarted my business, and having that accountability, because in that program, there was also one-to-one mentorship. It just sorted me out. Like it did what I needed it to do, did what Lisa intended. And then from Kickstart, I kind of came out of Kickstart 6 months later and went, I don't know what next. So I ended up actually doing a one-to-one day with Lisa, where we sat down. Within 2 hours of this one day, honestly, it was hilarious. She just sorted me out in 2 hours. She's like, right, great. So we actually split and kind of did a separate session with her later on in the year. But like, she just saw things that I was struggling with, because I always want to take on too much. And so from there, like, again, the business grew again. But the best advice she gave me actually was to invest in my nervous system. So when I kind of hit that fear of success point, I said, like, what do I need? Do I need a social manager, like social media manager? She's like, you need to invest in your nervous system, because I am a person who, with chronic illness and 3 kids and that tendency to people please, just take on too much. And so I was always in fight or flight or freeze. And actually coming out of that has completely changed our lifestyle at home, because I'm not constantly stressed and pushing for more and all the rest of it. So that was working one-to-one with her. And then, just because I wasn't finished there, I went to Vegas with her earlier this year on the DI retreat, which was just out of this world as an experience.
Oh.
Gave me space that I didn't know I needed to, again, come home and make changes, not just in my business, but in my personal life as well. And then I bought a franchise, because I thought, well, I'm a franchise strategist, I should absolutely have a franchise. So I did.
I love that. Let's face it, nobody continues to keep investing in somebody if they're not getting help and support from that person, and if they're not getting what they need. And would you say that you've had an ROI on everything that you've done? Like, is that fair to say?
Pretty much. Franchise obviously is very early days. I've only really just started to put stuff out there, but that is going to come 100%. I know it is. I was trying to think about how much I've invested. And I think for my investment, somewhere probably around kind of between 15 and 20K that I've invested. I have just topped 70. So I don't even know the ROI on that. I keep checking the ROI figures. Oh, I got this right. But I've made 70,000 for my investment, basically. And I can't think of anything else that I could have invested that money in and got that return. And I know that I got that because I implemented everything. Like, I'm a completer finisher, so I did what I was told and tweaked things along the way. But for me, this year, my goal since leaving employment has always been to match and then better my salary, and I've done that this year, which is just incredible with 3 kids and 3 chronic illnesses.
Absolutely insane. And I'm so glad, because just listening to a few of the things that helped, obviously there's that Renee was supporting with your mindset. Well, we've got Renee in Velocity. So
everyone loves Renee.
I interviewed Renee last night and I was like, everyone needs Renee, everyone. So that's so cool. But the fact that this nervous system regulation has been bought into Velocity, the fact that we've now got an expert who I will be interviewing, so you can meet them as well. The fact that we bought that into Velocity is based on the fact that this is advice that Lisa gives to people, because these are the things that she does for herself. These are the things that make the difference. And that's why, if you think of all the things that you've done, and I know we've named a few, we've like taken the best bits from all of these things and put them into this accelerator that is blowing all the minds before we've even gone in. I'm just so excited for it. So we've talked a bit about money, and that's amazing. I hope you don't mind if I just lean it just slightly away from that to say, what did life look like before versus what life looks like now? Because we know that success is bigger than the money in your bank account. Although I'm glad you had 70K.
with the money, and that's still growing, and that's great. Like, I spent years self-employed thinking, how am I ever going to get there? You know, so the money was game changing, but what the money allowed me to do was go and invest in my personal life. So I went into therapy and I worked on my nervous system, and that's ongoing work. But what that did was it unlocked so much that for me as a person, I am like a proper maverick, don't like to play by the rules, don't really like to do what I'm told. So with Lisa, actually finding someone that I will listen to has been brilliant. But what it meant was I was constantly starting new businesses and burning them down or burning myself out. So like I said, when I had the pneumonia, I found myself with 5 different businesses, and I loved all of them. Loved them all. They all had potential to be amazing businesses, and some of them were already amazing businesses.
Yeah.
But the problem was, every time I had an idea, I'd go start a business. I couldn't just have a hobby. And what that did to me as a person was it just meant I was constantly stressed all of the time, because none of those businesses were actually making a decent enough profit. One was, to be fair, but it wasn't enough. Nothing was ever enough. And so an idea would come up, I chased the dream. But what that did to my personal life with 3 kids, like I've got twin boys, they're just about to turn 8. So like throughout this journey, like you can imagine the stress. My daughter is very sassy, and I love her for it. But the pressure of trying to balance home life and work life was just so full on. And then what would happen was I'd like climb, and then I'd get really ill, and then everything would feel like it was too much. So I was kind of in this constant crash and burn cycle. And the work on the nervous system has meant that actually I've been able to climb down finally, probably for most of my lifetime. I think I've been in fight or flight, if I'm honest with you, like looking at it now. So the money bought the luxury of that, but it was a necessity. It was an absolute, I just didn't realize. And so from quite a chaotic, stressful, because I was so snappy, I didn't even realize I was so snappy all the time, so agitated, like literally like I'm at 60 ready to get to 100 immediately. And so the work on the nervous system has just meant that I'm much better grounded. So that emotional regulation, when my kids are kicking off, you know, we have tricky situations with the kids, and when they're kicking off, rather than me like jump up and meet them there, I can bring them down and be like, okay, let's just be calm, you know, in the way that the internet tells us that we should do automatically, and you just don't. And it's meant some really big changes in personal life stuff as well. And like, there's been really hard moments, but having a better regulated nervous system has meant that actually finally I've been able to face those moments, whereas actually years just put them off and put them off and put them off, and they've been difficult, but it's been life-changing what's come of it.
Do you feel like that in this process, so you've been doing all these things, working on yourself, did that then help you simplify business as well and streamline everything? Because obviously running like all of those different businesses and trying to get everything off the ground is a lot. Like, did Lisa help you just streamline that right back?
She was so good. Like the first thing she really helped me with was niche, because I'm a franchise expert. I've been in franchise like 10 years, all different kind of iterations of that. So I've been a franchisee, I've been on the franchisor side, I've gone to franchise a business. So I just had so much experience all over the place and a 20-odd year marketing career behind me. So I was so caught in like wanting to do everything that I could. She just really helped me to just focus on the niche. And what that means now is that in a Facebook group, when someone wants a franchise, people, you know, recommend me. But I still, even now, like with one business focus, one overall business focus, I still go, well, I could do this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, no, actually, just do one thing really well, or just have 2 things that you rotate. And that's been the biggest learning for me. Even like when I sat down to do my 2025 strategy, as a certified strategist, I was just like, I could do this and this and this. Oh, that's burnout. Like, what I've written is a plan for burning out. So let's just bring it back down, but do it in a way that, I think for me, what happened was I wasn't confident in one thing. So I wanted to spread myself and kind of spread the risk.
Yeah.
And what Lisa's helped me to do is realize that actually when you back yourself and when you implement the things that you know you should be doing, 1 or 2 things is enough.
Yeah, it is. Can I ask you final question? What would you say to anybody that has been watching this launch, watching from the sidelines, whether they've put the hand up and said that they're there or not, maybe they're quietly just sitting there contemplating whether this is going to be for them? What would you say, having been on the other side of lots of different processes with Lisa, lots of different places that you've been able to hang out with her?
Lisa really resonates with me for lots of personal reasons, but the thing that always strikes me across every iteration of work that I've done with her and contact that I've had is she's so consistently good. She's consistently brilliant. That's really underselling, but the consistency of how to do things, keeping it simple, going on the journey with Lisa for your business, I will always advocate Lisa, always, whether I'm working with her or not, because I just love how everything is taken back to the simple level and then consistently delivered in a way that you can go and do it. Because for me, I kind of came to one-to-many thinking, well, some of this is going to be a waste. I'm a marketing specialist. I know what I should be doing. But I think for even those that know what they should be doing, if you can honestly look at your business and say, I'm not doing them, there'll be a reason. And what Lisa is brilliant at is helping you discover that reason. And that's why she is always worth the investment, because she can unblock you where you don't know that you're blocked.
I love that. Stacey, thank you so much for giving us your time. I really appreciate you coming to speak to us. And yeah, I will be seeing you personally over at the franchise.
Thanks for having me, Abby.
Thank you so much. Bye. Bye.
Bye.